All right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and will rest therein. I'm coming with a very what you call a power punch. And I am titling this video Stand Down, Be Set Free. Let me say it again. Stand down and be set free. Okay? This topic is not for those who are riding the tail of the camps, different academies, different cults, different Hebrew Israelite movement, different awakening groups. This message is only for the elect because the elect in this day must grip what is going on, and don't listen to people because they said they are prophets or they're a prophetess. Be careful because they're saying they're Maureen and they're watchmen, they're teachers, and they're pastors, they're seers, and they're leaders. Stand down and be set free. Sister Deborah going to say a whole lot of things that's going to set one free from the inside out. And many won't be able to receive it from the inside because they are too far out in the ocean to even see dry land. Just imagine you got caught out in the ocean because the waves have taken you so far out, and you was loving the waves as long as you was feeling it. Nice water, the water was warm, and it was daytime, and you just really enjoy being able to hang with the waves. And you was really feeling good. And you decided to just go on out because you just trust in all the waves. But once the wave had ceased, you got stuck way out in the ocean. And as you try to see some sort of land, or you can't even see anything outside of the ocean, Sister Deborah is saying many, 99.9 is going too far out in the ocean, and they cannot and will not see dry land. I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, is going to bring you a message unlike any message that anyone has spoken to you. I've sit back and realized how lost the young men really are, because the ones that were to leave them something to run on to continue the race, they cut out on them way back, generations back, to the point where many tried to wipe away the fact that he says forefathers. That lets you know something is going on with our men. And they are in 100 times 100 million full denial. Never let anyone tell you that it's okay to drink. I want to say to you, it's okay to drink if that's what you want to do. It's okay to take substance into your body if that is what your heart desires. But he that's out here that has the Ruach HaKodesh resting in him, abiding in him, don't bring that trash to your temple. It is not the drink of yesterday, the wine of yesterday. You hear so many people by great numbers on these devil platforms talking and whining and crying. Oh, they putting this in our water. They putting this in our food. They doing this to our air. They doing everything that they've been doing to destroy you. And drinking any type of substance that make you feel good. Because what's the purpose of drinking anything outside of what it makes you feel like? Let's say a glass of water. A glass of water can really soothe a thirst. Get a glass of water. No, you don't want that. Because there's something going on in the drinks that's leading your flesh to get much pleasure therein. Not thinking, not caring that, wait a minute, greater is he that is in me than he that's in the world. They never gave it a thought that he's bigger than their mind can comprehend. So therefore, they can't comprehend the Ruach HaKodesh abiding in them because he has not met up with them. That's their flesh that has this wisdom. That's their flesh that has this knowledge. That's their flesh that has this understanding. That tells them this is the Spirit of the Most High Yah. That's not it. You wouldn't even want or to desire things that you could put into your body to give your body a buzz or something. If you're thirsty, drink water. Try that. Okay? No, you can't do that because that one that's greater is not in you. Your worstest enemy is self. Your own self gonna suffer the consequences in the days to come because you have not even been taught that the white man can never be your greatest enemy. Satan cannot be your greatest enemy. Your own flesh is your greatest enemy. So if your flesh is your greatest enemy, who else? Who else is there? Who've done anything to you outside of yourself? That's why people don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. People don't want to check themselves out and look in the mirror and say, wait a minute, we are or I am an ugly person. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, and all of it's not good. We don't want to look in the mirror like that. We prefer looking at someone else so that we can say they done something to us. He did something to us. She did something to us. Outside of looking within ourselves and see the ugliness that's rest therein. Now I'm going to get in this topic and this message because it's a power punch. A power punch. Things people have never spoken unto you. I don't listen to young men, middle-aged men, nor elderly men. I don't listen to women, young and old. Why? I listen to the voice of the Most High Yah. I'm able to discern his voice if it's coming through a male or a female. See, that's what people didn't understand, how powerful and great and excellent the Ruach HaKodesh is when he rests in you. He'll show you and teach you from the inside out who these people you're actually dealing with, who their spirit is, first of all. He ain't going to deal with the flesh first. He going to tell you the spirit, because the worst thing about that individual, if they spirit, it's not right. Then that means that evil that's in their flesh have conquered their spirit and have taken them into that area of darkness And a lot of people go in that area will never be able to see light again. Okay, let's go there. Well, we're going to start off with Genesis chapter 1. We're going to start off with Genesis chapter 1, and I hope you have your Bible because this is a lesson that might go 3 hours. But when I am done, you need to record this message. You need to share this message, but you need to have this message with you at all times. So if at this time, take on this here in what I am saying, write these verses down, have that spiritual ear wide awakened, so that you may hear what the Most High Ahia is given to you today from this message. Okay, in Genesis, first of all, I want to say again, this message is stand down and be set free. And standing down means stand down from all these people on these devil platforms who are not teaching any spirit and truth, who are not teaching any light, who are not teaching anything outside of what they say been missing, what they say here and there, what they precept and they line, they little here and they little there. The Torah. You can't listen to those people because they're lost without a cause. And guess what? They're the one that's out in the ocean because they trust themselves to go far out as they can because they figure, hey, I can handle this. I know this. I know this. I know this. And right now, they can't even see dry land. So what Sister Deborah finna say is and speak on is that dry land they'll never see because they went too far out. And by the Most High saying it's finished, he ain't coming out there to get you. He ain't coming out there to get you. Because the more he have poured out grace and mercy, yet you still going further deeper. He started pouring grace and mercy on you. You still going further deeper. Because you want so many people to follow you. It makes these people on this devil platform feel like they are famous. They didn't hit heaven already. And that's their mindset. Because when they got people liking and subscribing and praising them, telling them, oh, your message is, your message, this is what fire them to continue to give you lies and to deceive you, which is all well. It's finished. Y'all is not going to trust in their message or think that they're going to return things around. He said, Deborah, it's finished. Tell them what finished means. Let's go there. We're going to go to the Genesis. In the book of Genesis, I want to first start. We're going to start on this thing so people can understand. Yah is not flesh. He is not the blood. He has no flesh in him, nor veins of blood running through him. Yah is not flesh, and he is not blood. Okay? Yah is a spirit. I don't know if you ever seen a spirit. I have. A spirit is likened to a light, a glow that's bright. Yah is a spirit. If you're going to have anything of Yah or an image of Yah, it will be a spirit. Yah image is not a Negro man or Hebrew Israelite. Y'all lost without a cause. He is not a Negro, or one might say a Hebrew Israelite or a Hebrew. No. No, he isn't. He is a spirit. He is not flesh. He is not melanated. He is a spirit. And he's going to remain who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be in the days to come. Now, in Genesis chapter 1, I want to say to you all, Genesis chapter 1, it says, in the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. I want you to all understand I'm going to bump off of that beginning and bring you to the level of where I was taught. See, when the Ruach taught me that he was a spirit and that that's how he dealt with me, I was like 4 years old. I don't even think, I honestly, I believe I was 3, but I'm going to say 4 for sure. I think it's 4, closer to 4. And I want to say to you all, during that time as a young child, I knew that he exists. Okay? The way that he taught me, I can't afford to hear trash, stank, nasty mouth of the men of the tribe of Judah. I can't afford to hear out of their ugly mouth boasting, pride-minded, uplifted, self-centered, self-motivated. I can't afford to hear your trash. I say again, you all, stand down from all of that and be set free. The reason why I can't afford to hear that and entertain that and marvel off of it, or even to consider it, because the Most High Yah taught me, before he taught me the beginning, he taught me before the foundation of the world. And it was around about in my early teens when he brought that before me. He began to teach me, Deborah, before the beginning, I was and is and shall always be. He taught me from the heavens level. Okay? He didn't bring me to Genesis, to this Bible. He taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. Okay? So you must understand, if you grab this book and this is what you live on, feed on, eat on, teach on, understand on, this is all your wisdom, this is all your knowledge and all your understanding. Let me tell you somewhere. You way back in the backwoods somewhere. And that's why it's so easy for you to deceive the people by great numbers. He had to create a way that the great falling away shall fall directly into your arms successfully. I was just reading, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might go over it in another lesson. I think it was Isaiah 34, and how he was talking about the shepherds and how they didn't feed the flock, and they scattered them, and they fed themselves. And he said, I'm going to deal with you. He's talking about you on all these devil platforms. And you're thinking that it's okay because the devil is giving you a little check to lie and deceive the people. But one thing y'all don't understand. Everything's still going according to his will for his name's sake. So while you running around here thinking it's about your little check you getting, how many subscribers and how many likes, then got you feeling that you all up here, baby, you should know where you at by now in Yah. And just because you on here with those clown clothes, clowning, and thinking everybody is all about liking you, grab your glory now. Grab your honor now. Because that's about what you entitled to. Because you have successfully participated in the great falling away. Okay, now we're going to go to Genesis. And before Genesis was. See, we're thinking he only can come in from Genesis in the 5, in Torah, on in to the other books. But he can't come nowhere till he come through you. You're lost. And it's a good thing you lost because it makes his word so fulfilling, so truth. For those who have an ear to hear, they can say, yep, this is exactly what he said. It is, it was, and it shall always be the way he said it is. And not the way you teaching it. You out of your flesh. Your worst enemy is self. So if your worst enemy is self, what do you think you're doing to others? Especially those who have fallen away. Many of the men have turned now to a conscious thing, a science, and all these other different ones where they said, Paul, we don't believe in you. Oh, you all are taking. I sit back and I watch these men taking the whole Bible and shatter it all over the place. I mean, taking it and trying to redo it. And I'm talking about the house of Israel. The tribe of Judah is trying to redo the whole book. How are they going to do that, Deborah? In the minds of those who are weak enough to believe what they're saying. Let's go. Before the foundation of the world, John 1 and 1. The Gospel of John said, in the beginning, wait a minute, Genesis chapter 1 said, in the beginning, let's go again. The Gospel of John chapter 1, verse 1 says, in the beginning. You go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning. There's something about the beginning that he turned around in John and let you know. You need to take your butt back to the beginning and find out what is it really in the beginning to where he can say what he said in John 1, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. Okay. Here we are in the beginning. In the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. That was in the beginning. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 1, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with Yah. And the Word was Yah. I had an issue with that as a young person because I felt something different in that verse. Verse 2 said, this is the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 2. The same was in the beginning with Yah. I had an issue as a young person because the first thing I said in the class, wait a minute, Father, Yah, what's going on here? I can feel something. I can feel some fierce. He said, I was. I'm trying to make a point, Deborah. I'm trying to make a point. In the beginning was the Word. The Word spoke in the beginning. And the Word was with Yah. And the Word was Yah. See, when he got to the Word and the Word was Yah, that lets you know the Word existed, bam, before Genesis 1. Before he spoke it. It exists. Listen to how and when. In the beginning was the Word. That was in Genesis. And the Word was with Yah. That was before Genesis. And the Word was Yah. That was before Genesis. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father Yah. You mean the Word is not this book? The Word is Yah. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but the Word, it can't pass because it's in him. He is the Word. So nothing he said in the beginning was new to he that has been a student under the Ruach HaKodesh. Why? Because he would teach you before the foundation of the world. The word was. What words were those? Everything he spoke in Genesis into existence, it was already present in him. So when you think you telling somebody about what is going on in Genesis, you ain't telling nobody nothing. Nothing you are saying mount up to nothing. Why? Because the word was. The word began in Genesis, and the word is right now. Everything he has spoken, we are walking dead in it. Why? Because the word was in him at first. It wasn't in this book, y'all. So when y'all monkeying around talking about King James and this book been taken and this book been taken and they took this out Torah, y'all making a straight up fool of yourselves. You're making yourself look less than less. And have been for quite a long time. The word exists, you all, before the beginning. Let's go there. John sit and tell you, John 1, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. In the beginning was the word. He's letting you know, when you go here in Genesis, you hear my word. And the word was with Yah. It was with him before Genesis, before the beginning. And then he turned around and said the same thing over again. And the word was Yah. So if it's with him and it is him, what are you saying? So that's the question I asked him in school when I was a teenager. Then he said, verse 2, the same was in the beginning with Yah. I'm like saying, wait a minute. There you go, going back to Genesis. He's sending a statement to he that has an ear to hear the Ruach HaKodesh. He's sending a statement that stand down and be set free. Because all this crap that they teaching y'all, you need to stand down from it and be set free from it. And I mean right now. Because what they're not telling you and what they have not told you, because they have not the spirit of the Most High Yah. That's why they can't give you spirit and truth. They can give you what they can give you out of their own flesh. And their worst enemy is their flesh. So if they flesh understanding, their flesh wisdom, and their flesh knowledge, what are they giving you? You see? So the word was before it is. Why? Because in the heavens was every word that you're walking right here today before it began. Let's go. Okay? I'm going somewhere with this, and you're gonna really get this here. You're gonna get it in its fullness. Let's go. Okay? We're gonna start off Psalms 82. Let's go to Psalms 82. And I'm gonna try to move fast because this is Psalms 82. So stand down and be set free from all this nonsense. I mean, from every priest, bishop, pastor, seer, moor, prophet, prophetess, be set free. Maureen, watchman, be set free. Stand down from all this. It's finished. And they got you chasing your tail, trying to make sure your T's and I's are crossed. Your T's crossed and your I's dot. But guess what? That's all in your flesh. That's all in your flesh. Let's go. Psalms 82. Psalms 82 and verse 5. Psalms 82 and verse 5 says, they know not, neither will they understand. He's talking to me to give unto you. They know not, neither will. What is he saying? It's finished, Deborah. This is way he came to me as to explain to me it's over. Listen to Psalms 82 and verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in the darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course. Oh, Father, yeah. Ooh. And listen to this. I'm going to go on into 6 because I feel him telling me. Verse 6, Psalms 83 and verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all your children of all, no, and all of you are the children of the Most High. So he's talking to a house of Israel. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the prince. Arise, Ahiah, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Hearken to Yahuwah. He wants you to understand that there is things going on and have in time past, all the way up into 2022, that's out of course, off, out of order. Okay? And it has been for a long time. Stand down from all of this nonsense. It's out of order. It's off course. Get a relationship, a spiritual relationship, because he don't want your nasty flesh, with the Most High Yah in spirit and in truth. It's off course. The whole earth or out of course. And then he says, I have said, ye are gods, and all the children are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like ones of the prince. You see what's going on? They ain't gonna tell you that. Let's go over to Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25, it says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. Those are things they're not going to tell you. Yah said the earth is out of course. It's finished. It's finished. Only thing we waiting for is his right hand, and it's stretched out. Something that they never ever taught you of, because you never asked. It takes you knocking at the door of the Most High, Ahiah. It takes you seeking so you can find spirit and truth. Why? He said the gates that's narrow, very few shall find. Many of you all out there want to find a way of pleasuring your flesh and not having anything for your anorexium spirit, because you have not chose him through Yeshua HaMashiach over the mouth and the ugly mouth of men. Now, let's go. You're going to now hear why Sister Deborah has said in time past, I wasn't taught the way you all insist on being taught by these men that will lie to you, take the words and flip them up and flip them down. Right now, they're trying to rewrite it. Y'all didn't know that, but they're trying to rewrite it. They want to now make sure everything you all understand that the Old Testament, not the old, what they call the New Testament. I don't call it neither one, but what they call the New Testament is not legit. Then in the Old Testament, they want to let you know those things in there that's not legit. One thing I would never tell you is to wipe away this book and trust in man. You can't do it, y'all. He got you already all the way out in the deep. You can't see dry land, and dry land represents the Most High, y'all. Dry land represents his light, his righteousness, his just, his spirit and truth. That's what dry land. You too far out. You can't see dry land. You can't see nothing past what you out in, way out in the deep. So I want to share with you Psalms 82 and verse 5, because he was saying how they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. Didn't I tell you that? I said, that's where we at, y'all. It is midnight, and they walking all up in the darkness. Don't care if they don't know what light is. They don't care if they know what spirit and truth is. They don't care about nothing. They just walking straight in the darkness. And see, it's even telling you, and this is not the only verse that's telling you they walking in darkness. It's many, many, many telling you even in these days they're going to be walking straight into what is wicked and evil and darkness. Now listen to this. And he said in Psalms 82 and verse 5, all the foundation of the earth are out of course. I salute that, Father, y'all. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I salute that, Father, y'all. I salute every judgment you have put down for us as a people. Every judgment and chastising, discipline, curse, and every choice that you have made before the foundation of the world. For God knew where we would be this day. Not at the beginning, not at the foundation of the world, but before Genesis 1 and 1. See, this thing is bigger than what man is teaching you all. That's why they don't understand that when that word was in Genesis 1, it was speaking. Now, who is that word? That word that was before it is. Hallelujah! That word that was before it is. That means the Most High Yah is the Word. He is the Word. All Word is in him, and he came to speak it in Genesis to begin it, bringing it forth. So what did he do? He spoke, and it was. You hear that power? So when he got to Genesis 1 and 26, and he said, let us. Who is us? I know. 99.1 trillion Hebrew Israelites would never, ever, ever, ever come to the knowledge of who let and us is. Because they have driven so many people out in deep. Yah is going to suffer them likewise. Just as Moses came to him. Moses didn't make it to the other land. He didn't make it. And also, you will not search to find Moses as one of the seeds. You won't find it. You won't find it. All the seed carriers were in Matthew 1 and 1. Those are the seed carriers. Moses is not there. Okay, let's get to this. Let's get ready. Let's rumble. Let's rumble. And again, this message is about staying down, dancing, dressing, acting with these clowns, y'all. Stand down from all this homosexual. Stand down for all this lust, whoremongering, adulteries, committing adultery, lying, stealing, killing. Stand down from all these Hebrew Israelite movements, cults, camps, academy. Stand down, y'all. Be set free. Because they have lied with a hearty lie. And they feel good about it. And now they flip it around trying to start a new meaning of the Hebrew Israelite movement. Why? Because they burnt out. They burnt out. And I believe they're being burnt out because truth is kicking them in their rear end. And they can't get away from it. So they'd rather go another direction into the science, into the consciousness, and all this other stuff. Because it's best for them. They feel more comfortable doing the flesh thing than doing the spirit thing. They do better teaching flesh wisdom, flesh knowledge, and flesh understanding than spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, and spiritual understanding. And spirit and truth. They can't teach you what they don't have in them to teach you. So stop following them. Stand down and stop following. And be set free. Now, we finna rumble now. We finna go to Jeremiah chapter 1. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1. Okay? And what Sister Deborah finna tell you. As a little girl and in my teens, I was taught what took place before the foundation of the world. So in the book of Genesis, can't touch that. The book of Genesis can't go near that. You understand? So therefore, when you riding into Torah and you riding high, let's see if Torah would take you what took place before the foundation of the world. Okay? Because then was the word. Then was everything predestined and ordained. You see? So when y'all sitting here trying to grab these books, oh, this is law, this is law. Y'all just making a fool of yourself because you're trying to tell the people Yeshua HaMashiach, which is the HaMashiach, is the Father's right hand. That's Christ. Couldn't even uphold anything. You know what? Nobody, no book on the face of the earth is supposed to outride the Ruach HaKodesh. What's wrong with you? You don't think the Spirit would do what he said? I will teach you all things. He didn't say he was coming from a book. He didn't tell you that. You's a lie and the truth ain't in you. And you ain't going to find no scriptures that said he coming to you from the book. He's coming to you from the word that was before the book exists. So therefore, can't nobody tamper with the word that proceed out of the mouth of God. No, they can't move that, baby. They lied to you again. See how they lied? That's why he said, put your trust, Deborah, in no man. You can trust him with $1 million. You can trust him with your house, your car. But when it come down to my word that proceeded out of my mouth, Deborah, put your trust in no man to teach you spirit and truth. They don't have it. And they won't. Because they don't have. And they can't. So when it come down from the word that proceeded out of the mouth of Ahia, don't let no man try to precept you around it, line you around it, little here and a little there around it, to Torah you around it, Greek you around it, Hebrew threw you around is stand down and be set free. For the word was before it is. Sound. The word was before it is. What are you saying, Deborah? Before the foundation of the world, everything was already in him. He decided to take what was in him and speak it out. And when he spoke it, it was. How was it? His power let us rumble. And it was good. He said, let. Bam. And it was. And he what? Let's go there. Y'all don't get it. You've been taught from the rear end of men and women. Stand down and get away from all that mess. You need to know what spirit and truth. You need to know what walks up in righteousness and just. You need to know a higher for who he is. And stop dancing with these clowns at every circus that they play. Every circus they speak in. Every circus they dance in. You need to stop. Now listen to this. Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. And y'all said, let, bam. And what happened? What happened? When he said, let, what happened? It was. And he caused it to be divided. In the book of Genesis, chapter 3. Y'all said, let. There go that word of who he is. Speaking. Let. Who is he telling to let? His own power come forth. Let. And it came forth. And what happens? Each time he said, let, the power brought it forth. And it was good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the way he rumbled. He said, I spoke my word, Deborah, and my power let it come forth. And it was good. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He liked what his power was able to bring forth. He's the one that speaks things in existence. He spoke it and it was. He didn't have to bring Adam first, Eve second, Eve first, Adam second. He don't rumble that way. He is the word. And it comes out of him in his order and not man. And we're going to rumble about that right now. So I want to first, before I get into Adam and Eve and who and all that, I want to go somewhere first with you. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. I spoke to you all and I said, he taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. So that means it's nothing you can tell me about what you can precept. You can line, you can read, you can study, and what they told you here and what they told you there. Oh, this book close and this one said this, Enoch said this. You know what? Vain and vax. I hear you, Saul. Vain and vax is all worthless. Because nothing on this earth can outride what proceed out of the mouth of Yah. Not even Enoch words. Jasper, or whatever, all these other books, no book that you found that was lost, no history of who you are, no 1611, no Greek, no Hebrew, no King James Bible can come closer to the word that proceed out of the mouth of a higher. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5, and let's go. Chapter 1 of Jeremiah, verse 5. Before I formed thee, in the belly. Wait a minute. Hold up. I got some issue with that, Father. Hold up. I got some issue. I got to raise my hand on that. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly. Wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. Wait a minute, wait a minute, hold me. I know you formed all of us. I know you put that right hand on us and you formed us out of the potter and the clay. And I know that, Father. But wait a minute, you sound like you knew me before you formed me. Listen to this. I knew thee. So what Sister Deborah is trying to tell y'all, this ain't about who Adam was first and he's the head of. You're sick and then sick, then sick, then sick. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. What you mean you knew me? Don't tell me my Father cannot teach you what took place before the foundation of the world. You know why? All this time he was teaching me, guess what? I was a young girl. He wasn't coming from these scriptures. I did not know what I knew because I could read. I can interpret. I knew Torah. I can precept and line and little here. I was a child hearing the powerful word out of the mouth of a higher. Why should I listen to the nasty flesh of a man? Listen to what he says. And before thou camest forth, hallelujah, for that woman can bring you forth of the womb, I sanctify thee, and I ordain thee a prophet unto the nations. You all are very sick people. And you've been sick a mighty long time. And your sickness did not start when you came over here on this 400 land, on this 400 years and more among the heathens. You were sick before you even seen a heathen. When he gave you the land floating with milk and honey, and it was the richest land on the face of the earth, and you had everything that you could desire in life. Most of all, you had him in the midst. So your illness came way before that. Your illness was in you before the foundation of the world. Yet my Father knoweth who you were, who you is, and who you gonna be. See, that's the one thing these men don't want to teach you, because they don't have it in them to know it. They don't know spirit and truth. They know Torah, Hebrew, Greek, Enoch, all these other books, but they don't know nothing spirit and truth. Now one of the books they have gonna take you nor redeem you. Now one of them books gonna take you to the light. Now one of them books gonna take you to spirit and truth. Now one of them books, y'all said, put your trust in no man. And the word that are proceeding out of these books is the mouth of man. How can it redeem you? How can anything in Enoch redeem you? How can it deliver you? How can what he say save you? Oh, Father, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the sickness is that deep. Be set free. Stand down from all this clowning, y'all. Get away from all this clowning. Have you a one-on-one personal relationship with a higher, because, baby, you gonna need it. Let's continue. In Jeremiah, the Most High, a higher, is letting you know, I formed thee, in your mother's belly. But guess what, Deborah? I knew you before you were there. Well, wait a minute, hold on, Father. The way these people talking about is Genesis, every word that they read in Genesis and the Torah is the beginning to the end. He said, no. It's because they lost without a cause. They flesh always desire power to know wisdom, power to know knowledge, power to have understanding. They don't care if it's righteous. They don't care if it's spirit and truth. They don't care if it's light in it. They don't care about nothing but the power to be able to rumble they ugly mouths and to get many to follow them, like unto the devil, Satan in the heavens. 1/3 follow what he was doing and saying. That's how you all are doing on this devil platform. Stand down from this mess and be set free. Okay, now I want to tell you Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Guess when that was? Before it began. Before this book was, Jeremiah 1 and 5 is letting you know the word, the power, a higher is. Okay. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. The best book chapter in Romans is 1. Oh, y'all. He said so much to you all, especially you women, and you missed it. You're going to miss it because you're still waiting for the ugly mouth of a man to teach you. And he ain't going to teach you nothing, spirit and truth. He ain't going to teach you the light. He said you are the light that should be stand up on a hill. Well, do you believe that? No, man. Got to tell you what you supposed to stand and how you stand and how you got to look when you stand. But let me tell you something, baby. The light that comes in you is greater than the light that any man can try to mold you and shape you into and dress you up and down in. Okay? Romans chapter 8, verse 29. Romans chapter 8, verse 29, and it reads, for whom I did foreknew, he also did I predestined to be formed in the image of my son. He's talking about who? Who is he talking about here? That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Y'all don't even know who that is, do you? You don't know who it is. Because these men, these ugly mouth men didn't taught y'all so many lies, and then y'all call yourself awakening, and as you even got even further out in the ocean and still can't see dry land. Dry land is spirit and truth. Dry land is the light. You see, you can't see nothing. You remember them 10 virgins? They had their lamp, they had a trim, but they didn't have what it takes, which was what? The oil to keep it what? Lit. Or to get it to light. But they run around here with an empty lamp. Think of that. That's who you all are. Empty. Stand down off all this clown mess. This is a circus on this devil platform. Facebook, YouTube, Patriots, Twitter, Instagram, all of them is clowning, seeing who can get the most people to follow they act in the circus. Okay? Now, one thing I like about this, he said in Romans chapter 8 and 29, for whom he did foreknew. What he is saying, Deborah, tell him again. I taught you what? Before the foundation of the world. So before Genesis was, I am. And I'm the one that taught you. So all this stuff they talking, I already done let you know, Deborah. If it was so, it would fool the very elect that I mold and shape for my purpose, for my name's sake. It won't fool them. It only fool you. Stand down and be set free. Okay. So here he's talking about the son, his son. And in Romans chapter 8 and 29, his son, that he might be the firstborn among brethren. Among brethren. You know what he talking about, child? You know, the firstborn. Guess who he talking about? Who is the firstborn? Among the brethren. Yeshua HaMashiach. But when you read this, formed to the image of his son. Who is that? Let me tell you who that is. Y'all don't know, do you? Let's do that again. Romans chapter 8, verse 29. For whom he did foreknew, he also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his son. Who was conformed to the image of his son? That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Yeshua. But it was more who was with Yeshua. That was HaMashiach. That's the son he's talking about. You remember when he asked Peter, who do they say that I am? Yeshua was like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm the son of man, born of a woman, flesh. I did not reveal that to you, Peter. Only one could have told you that is who? The Father in the heavens. What did he tell him? That Yeshua was holding in him the Son of Yah. Hallelujah! I can imagine Yeshua's taking a step back. Woo! Wait a minute, Peter. I didn't tell you, even though I knew it, but I didn't tell you that I'm flesh and blood. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. Only way you could have got that is beyond me. That's what he was telling Peter. You got something. You got that beyond me, Peter. You got that from the Father in the heavens. See how Yeshua did that? He always showed us the Father in everything he did. So when he's talking here and saying, conformed to the image of the Son. What was conformed? The Word, the power, and the Spirit of Ahaya as Emmanuel in the Son of Yah that was connected to work the mission with Yeshua, the Son of Man. You see that? Y'all missed it. And want me to tell you where you really missed it at? He was conformed. How? It's because Yah did something he never done before. He did something he never done before. What did he do? He put his spirit, his word, and his power in man. And it become the first one ever born with all power. The Spirit and the Word. He's speaking of the Son of Yah. Not the Son of Man, but the Son of Yah. You see how far from it everybody is lost in? This is what he's saying. He's the first one that ever, Yeshua is the first one, and the Son of Yah is the first one that comes in to the world like unto this. And then I want to cover something else on that. John 14 and verse 12. John 14 and verse 12. I'm hoping I'm bouncing on this here real good because I think I'm starting to feel chill here. John 14 and verse 12. John 14. Father, you know you something else. He teaches me even when I speak. Hallelujah. John 14 and verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believe on me, John 14, verse 12. Who's speaking? Yeshua. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believe on me, the works the works, that's the miracles and signs and wonders, that I do, shall he do also. So what happened, y'all? Where is the works that was in Yeshua, the Son of Man, that's not in you? Listen to what the Son of Man is telling you. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. I go back into my Father. And that which is in me, my Father's going to send down in you. And it's going to be greater works. What happened to it? What happened to the greater works, y'all? Yeshua spoke it. But see, he had to go. He had to go. His mission was completed. But Yah's about to send that power right back down unto us. And right today, we have denied every drip of it and walking around here talking about we the people, we awaken. What have you awakened to outside of midnight darkness? Let's go over that again in John 14 and verse 12. In Romans 8 and 29, I'm just showing you the image of his son is, the word calls him Christ. Hamashiach. That's the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Why? He was the first one he ever put all that in to send down, to connect with the Son of Man. So the Son of Yah and the Son of Man was working a mission of the Father and the Father's own. Why? Because this is what took place before the foundation of the world. The Word was, is, and shall be. Because it took place not in Genesis chapter 1 and 1, Genesis 2, 3. No, you guys. Before he created the heavens and the earth, he already knew what you've been lying about. And that's why we cannot erase and flip and turn Genesis like the men are doing today. Eve then had babies by the serpent. Eve then had sex by the serpent. Eve then had orgies by the serpent. And it gets worse and worse out of the mouth of Satan and himself, which are the men. Because they want to turn you inside out and be partaker in what they represent. Now, in John 14 and 12, he said, this is what Yeshua is saying. He said, verily, verily, I say this unto you. He that believe on me, let me tell you, the works that I do, shall he do also. He should do also. Now, do you think that he's saying, just believe on me and you're going to be able to do all that I'm doing? No, he's not telling you that. This is what he said. He said, and greater works shall you do than what you seen me do. Now, you heard about all the signs and wonders that Yeshua was performing. Yeshua HaMashiach was doing. He's sitting here and telling you that you're going to be doing greater works. Where are your works? Where's your greater works? You wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Ain't you awakening? Ain't you the people? Where's your works? Let me tell you. Listen to this. And then shall he do, because I go until my Father. Mine is over, y'all. This is time for you to throw up and throw down. Stand down off of these clowns in this circus. Find a relationship one-on-one with the Most High, Okay? All this stuff that they're teaching y'all, I'm at the point where It's 100% lies. And because you never were taught or to shut up and listen to the Ruach HaKodesh, what did he say? Because you reject. You reject, but you accept what man teaches you. No spirit of truth, what they teach you. No light. No nothing. But you rather for them to teach you than the Most High Ruach HaKodesh. Now, I like what Yeshua is saying in John 14 and 12 because he talks about the works, the signs and wonders. What is the sign and wonders, you all? 99.1 trillion wouldn't even know. The signs and wonders is the power that he came down here with. See, y'all gave him all of him, who he is, to come down so that he can work the mission so that Yeshua can complete the blood sacrifice, the death, the burial, the blood for human beings, for flesh. He had to die like a man. So when his time was up, now the Father say, if you believe that I sent him and I sent my power and my word and my spirit with him, and that he was the lamb that I had slaughtered, when? In Genesis 1 and 1? No, before the foundation of the world were they slaughtered. It was already in him. Every word that Yah has in him, we are walking it out. That's why it's important to not hear the words out of the ugly mouth of men, because they ain't doing nothing but deceiving you. But when you hear the words out of the mouth of Yah, you're all right. Because now you're coming from the horse's mouth. You're coming in spirit and truth. You're coming in righteous. You're coming in just. Now listen to this. And then he said in verse 12, because I go unto my Father. And because my mission is for me to go, he got plans to send down with each and every last one of you all the same thing he sent down with me, which was Christ. That's why he said you can say something about Yeshua all you want, and you can be forgiven. But don't say nothing about the Ruach HaKodesh, because the Ruach HaKodesh is Yah. And what is connected to the Ruach HaKodesh? You notice that Yeshua said you can say something about Yeshua. He didn't say Yeshua HaMashiach, because HaMashiach is the power of the Father. You can't come up against that, because the power of the Father is what ushers in the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why you can't come through the basement door, the basement windows, the back door, the side bedroom windows. You got to come in through the door. Yeshua, the blood sacrifice for your sin, and the power of Yah to usher you. The power to do all that Yeshua said you would be able to do. What you mean, Yeshua? What do you mean? You going and that we're going to be doing greater works. He's telling you, once you accept Yeshua HaMashiach, me as the blood sacrifice, HaMashiach is the power. And on top of the power was the word and the spirit of the Most High Yah. They go back into the Father. And the Father say, once you believe in what I did for them, for him, I gave him all of me. That was Emmanuel with thee. That was the Son of Yah. That was my right hand. That was present in Genesis 1 when it said let. Bam, that power let. That's why he said, now let us create. And then it says the higher, the Yah created. He was talking to his power, his right hand, which is his power. And you know what he taught me in the last couple of years about how everything that he has spoken and those that he has given us, that we may see him in them. We have seen them and left him. And he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. Everybody would say something about Esther, David, oh, Moses. Everybody would say something about everybody that was missioned and will not give the praise, the honor, and the glory to the one that was behind using them. That's why you see men mimicking David and his wives, Abraham and his wives. Now, they ain't mimicking walking upright and just, but they just mimicking the things that bring pleasure to their flesh. Sad, but it's real. They're not mimicking Yeshua HaMashiach walk. Look what HaMashiach said. These works that thou seest, thou should do greater. You think, what did these, show me the power that these men are doing, signs and wonders. What works are these men are doing? Have you seen any works that's like unto Yeshua HaMashiach? You ain't seen not one, but yet you give these people on this devil platform, men and women, but 99.9 men, all this glory, all this honor, all this praise, and they ain't done nothing before you to represent Yeshua HaMashiach nor Ahaya. And you're walking around here talking about, I'm awake and we the people. You see something wrong with that. Now, let's go to Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 4. In Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 4, it reads, Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 4, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. Okay. You women need to stand down off of these people and be set free. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. These that I'm reading to you now is informing you how before Genesis, King James, the garden, before anything was, the word is. You see? So why is it once we begin to read it, we begin to get stupid and don't see it in the line up of spirit and truth? Why do we want to take it and try to make it what our flesh desires? Because we don't have the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh. So we dance with the wicked and portray that we're in there. And because of that, the great falling away already taking place. And many still walking in the midnight hour. Don't know their left from their right. They just walk into every circus act that's performed on this devil platform. And they joining it too, big time. Getting the ticket every time there's a ticket for sale. And these people ain't giving them no spirit, no truth, no light, no righteous, no just, no nothing. They'll give them the world and the issues they're in and the issues thereof of the world before they give you spirit and truth, before they give you what is righteous, what is just, before they direct you to the light. Go back and tell them, Deborah, it's because they don't have what it takes to give you anything else. So they got to give you the world, which makes some sense. Ephesians chapter 1. Now just read with me here. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. According as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in giving gave, which the world calls love. Now, what he's saying here is we were chosen in him. You hear this, the whole house of Israel? You see how you blame it on the heathens, this and that? Before your ugly tails was created. You was in his word. You were in his word. In him. Before the foundation of the world. And just because he spoke word and his power brought it forth, you all missed Adam and Eve. Because before he spoke, creating them in his likeness and his image is a spirit, y'all. That's the only way you can worship him, in your spirit that he has given you. He ain't gave you no soul. He gave you a spirit. A spirit is a light. Go to John, chapter 1 of the Gospel of John, verse 4. In him was life, and the life was a light unto man. And we don't understand. All our precepts in the world can't bring us to spirit and truth. All our Torah in the world can't bring you to spirit and truth. All your Hebrew and your Greek can't bring you to spirit and truth. Because the spirit and truth, guess what? Let the spirit and truth be told. You can't tell nobody nothing if you overly learned and you done learned yourself. Just because another person done taught you, I don't care who that person was in you. What are they in Yah if they don't know spirit and truth? And that is what is behind this book. Want me to tell you what's behind it? Is the word. That's why he said, rightly divide the word. Because it has to be divided from when it comes out of the mouth of man versus when it comes out of the mouth of a higher. You can't divide it without the Ruach HaKodesh. You can't. You see how lost they are? And they're running around here, and this is what they do. It's best for them to say, oh, I got the Ruach. Because that make people think they in there. But the reason why Sister Deborah is able to discern if they have it or not, because I try them at the fruit that they have. The fruit that they display does not display they got spirit and truth. Why? Because one of the number one fruit is spirit and truth. Everything got to come down that line of spirit and truth. You cannot wrap things up in the way you feel it, the way your emotions, the way your mama, your daddy, your pastors, your bishop, your teachers, your scholar, the way Hebrew taught you, the way Greek, the way Torah taught you. No. Let me tell y'all something. That's a lie from the pit of hell. This thing is spirit and truth. And spirit and truth existed before this book. The word was. The word is. It was with him. It was in him. It is him. Before Genesis existed, it was. And we're going to cover that. But these verses that I'm giving you now, it's letting you know what Sister Deborah was explaining to you. I was taught what took place before. When you know what took place before, you know what's taking place now. That don't mean you know everything. Sister Deborah always told you I only know about 20%. That's why he teaches me every day. Still leaving me with only 20%. Why is that? That's the only thing I know. But in the spiritual realm, you're going to stand down. You're going to stand down. Because this thing is spirit and it is truth. And that's where you know something, is when you're able to bring it forth in spirit and in truth. And not in this monkey mess that they think that they can train you and beat you up beside your head to make you think that they know more than you. And how? It's because they can quote a little here, a little there. A line here, a line here, there. Torah, Greek. They're a scholar. They all this stuff. But neither one of them know spirit and truth. And that they've been living a lie. And it's a sad thing. Because in the last couple of weeks, I've heard a couple of prophets. And I never thought that the prophets in such a late midnight hour would be talking that yang that they talking. These men are out here talking about chasing a history. I'm like, Father Yah, you mean to tell me we in the midnight hour and they think it's about chasing a history? You mean to tell me, Father Yah, these people out here trying to grab recognition so they can be boasted, uplifted, looked at, praised, and honored, all in the name of thinking they got the information, the receipts, the history. They found out this and they found, baby, where have you all been lately? You've been walking to and fro in all kind of darkness because we are in the late hour. Y'all is running the end of this course and you all up in history. Baby, ain't no history book or history on this earth worth searching for, looking for. Stand down, people. This is nonsense. Get a grip in spirit and truth. Who Yah is in his spirit. Learn the word through the Ruach HaKodesh that was promised to come and teach you not some things, maybe a little here and a little there. No, all things. Meaning it ain't coming to come collect every book that's lost. The Ruach ain't coming to collect every book that's lost because every book that's been taken out is not the word that proceed out of the mouth of Ahaya Ahaya. It is the word that proceed out of the man's mouth. So how can anything be lost? How could anything be confused? How could your history be hidden? How could they switch this and they switch that and you still ain't changed from your ugly, stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient, ugly self? You haven't changed. But you got the audacity to want to change what you're finding out to try to bring another revelation to the bosom of the tribe of Judah. You playing a dangerous game, you men out there. You're playing a dangerous game. You better stand down and pray that the Most High Yah find you to be free. Because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of you all played a great deal in the great falling away. And don't think for 1 minute the Most High is not going to hold you liable. Because a lot of you all have lied and never turned back and admit that you didn't know and that what you was teaching is a lie and what you was saying was wrong, what you was saying was unrighteous, what you was saying was unjust. It wasn't according to what proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. Yah didn't tell you to mimic Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He didn't tell you to mimic David, but he told you to look at Christ and walk therein. That's the one you're supposed to be looking at. That's the example for us to walk upright. But while we over here trying to do the things to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we try to get into Torah and try to master Torah, and they couldn't master Torah then. And if you really want to be truth be told, only one can master Torah is the Spirit of Yah. So therefore, the Spirit of Yah in you is the word. It holds all things within him. So if you're running around here thinking that you have mastered, it's gotten so bad to where people are taking and looking at other people's conversations and going and teaching them. If they want to do that, let them. The Ruach is a teacher in himself. He's going to teach you all things. And it ain't coming through people who trying to find this to say, and that to say. All these lost souls of these men is lost. I mean, they're gone, y'all. It's gone. And when the Father says finished, hey, I'm with him. I get it now, Father. I understand. It is finished. Because I sit back and listen to these young men nowadays. They so far out and deep in the ocean, they can't even see anywhere near dry land. Because these men, like unto their forefathers of yesterday, idoled other gods. And a lot of people want to think it's the Jesus on the cross. Let me tell you something. You was idling other gods before you brought your butt over to this land 400 years and more ago. So stop the line. Stop the line. And I was just listening the other day, and I was listening to the Father. And boy, he was really on the land, boy. Oh man, he was speaking to the mountains. He was telling the land and everything how you know all this was done here, and that's why this here gonna happen here to you. And y'all ain't playing with this house of Israel. I'm telling y'all, it ain't gonna rumble like y'all think, because these people have lied to you all. And because you don't sit your butt still and know that he is the most high, a higher. And he will teach you and lead you and guide you and show you all things. And if he said he's going to teach you all things, is he telling you he's going to turn you back over to the mouth of man? No. He says, I'm going to teach you from the inside out. Hear me? I'm going to teach you from the inside out. Because the inside of where I'm at, abiding in your spirit, is going to tame your flesh. Let me say another thing he was dealing with me on. He was dealing with me on the fact that they had did so much error in the book and those who have followed Torah to the point where none of it the people can really use. They never woke up and realized Yeshua HaMashiach is on the scene. They never realized that. They never considered the fact, wait a minute, there's a new sheriff in town. Wait a minute, something got to change. Something got to give. They never had no respect for Yeshua HaMashiach. But yet they said they had the Ruach HaKodesh. You see? It's a sad. And where you know they off balance because they want to challenge you with his name. And see, where the ignorance come in is what took place before the foundation of the world. So therefore, the name that y'all trying to follow here and follow this and do this here and use against the people to try to make them think you somebody. Let me tell you something, baby. The word was before it is. So what are you talking about? His name existed before this book was printed. Okay? Okay? Before anything was, he is. Get a grip. Just get a good grip of that. That means that everything that we're talking about is vain and vast. It's worthless. Especially when it's trying to manipulate the minds to believe that you're holier than thou. And that you're going to teach these people how to walk right, talk right, look right, eat right, be right. And ain't no right in you. Nothing about you is righteous. Turning the people away from all kind of light because you ain't got light. Turning the people away from the Ruach HaKodesh because you don't have spirit and truth. And found pleasure. Let me tell you what he was telling me. He said, Deborah, tell those people that my word was instructions and directions. Let me say that again. He said, in the beginning was my word. I spoke it, Deborah. When Adam was in the ground, I formed him. I gave him a spirit and I gave him life, the breath. Then I gave Adam also many things. And then I turned around and gave him one instruction and one direction. One instruction and one direction. He wants me to tell you all out here. Man took instructions and direction from the Most High or higher and made it commandments and the law. He said the only reason why they turned it and flipped it into commandments and law is because they wanted to use it to be an iron claw. He said, Deborah, tell the people instructions and direction was just as simple as that. He said, did they not hear the instructions in which I given Adam? Deborah, did they not hear the directions I gave Adam? Did they not hear it? I said, Father, they so busy hearing man. Thou knoweth all things, that they shall not hear thee. They have took hold the commandments and the law. We must hold the commandments and the law. And guess what, y'all? How could someone tell you how you are to keep the commandments? How you are to keep the law? When the law and the commandments and the law is just simple as instructions and directions. How simple was it in what he said to Adam? How simple was that instruction? How simple was that one instruction and that one direction? How do we turn that one instruction and that one direction into an iron claw? When he said he is simple. He wants you all to know that all that lying that they're telling you, oh, you better keep the commandments, you better keep the law, it's because they want to have the power to speak words to bring you into a order and a control. He said, first of all, just like they didn't know who let was in Genesis, Deborah, they didn't know let us was. They never knew who the right hand and the stretched out arm was. I said, no, they never knew. They never knew. They never knew Hamashiach. Never knew Hamashiach. You remember when Nebuchadnezzar was in the fire furnace? Had the Hebrew boys in the fire furnace. Nebuchadnezzar said, it what? Didn't we put three? Well, wait a minute. It looks like not the Son of Man. He said a son of Yah. Who is the son of Yah? Yah's power. That's what he saw. He saw Yah's power in that furnace. That power that was keeping them young men from burning. That power that was communing with them. Christ is Yah's right hand. It is his power. When he said let, he was speaking. His word went out and his power performed it. For instance, this book is right here. First thing I have to do, I have to think to pick this book up. When I'm going to pick this book up, I think it, I'm going to pick it up. I say it, and then what do I do? The action. I pick it up. You see? It's here. Then it's spoken. Then it's done. It's here. Then it's spoken. Then it's done. Before the foundation of the world, before the foundation of the the word was in Yah, spiritual mind and spiritual heart. They call it also his bosom. And then he spoke, and his power, his right hand, which is what the word called Christ. I call him Hamashiach. His power performed it. It was, the word was, then it was spoken, then he performed it. So let's go back to Genesis 1 and 26. Let us make man in our image and in our likeness, and let us make him, them, he, him, and her. It was spoken, y'all. It was let go already before he formed man. So regardless if he formed Eve first or man first, both of them was brought forth when he spoke it. It went out already. It was the power that was going to perform it. But it had already been in Yah in the heavens. In the first chapter of Genesis, he spoke it. And then he performed it. So which one came first, y'all? Which one came first? In him it was. Then it was spoken. Then it was created. So which one came first? Male or female? Listen to it now. It was here in him. Then it was spoken. And then the power brought forth. It was already in Yah to create him and her, them. And then he wanted it to be spoken so that his power can create it. That's why he was saying, let my power create this. Let my power create this. Let us, my power create this. And that's why he said, and I create. He was talking to his own power. His own power, y'all. You see how they got that all twisted? So, when you hear ignorant, darkness, wicked men and women telling you, oh, he created man first. Let me tell you, no. Creation does not override what was, what is. Creating cannot override that. This whole book and what's in it can't override what's in the heavens, y'all. The heavens had spoken, had already planned it, already had it. Then the Father is the Word. The Word is the Father. The Word is with God. The Word is Yah. Then he what? He spoke the word. And when he spoke it, he didn't say Adam. He said them. So what do that tell you? When he spoke Adam, Eve was already in Adam. It was them. When he created Adam, he created him, male and female. In him, he created them. Hallelujah! And that make you see in spirit and truth, the truth of the matter, or things that many battle with. Oh, he created the woman for the man and not the man for the woman. Wait a minute, hold up. How could you erase what the word that proceeded out of his mouth said? I created him and her before they were created. So how the created part outweigh the spoken part that was in the heavens with him? You can't do it. You can't rumble that. You can't defeat the fact that he created Adam, and that creation of Adam outright what he spoke and who he was before heaven and earth was created. He had in him male and female. He created them. That's why he went on in Genesis chapter 1 telling them about what they are to be doing and what they are supposed to do, multiply, and how they're supposed to take care of the things in the earth together. That's why Yeshua said to the people, what in the beginning that wasn't so. Letting you know something going on, y'all. We done stepped out of the beginning. And we done made our own way up out of spirit and truth, out of the reality that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. So, no, Adam was not created before Eve. Eve was not created before Adam. They were both created when in him, in the heavens, was the whole blueprint. And then he began to speak it as them. And just because later on he created Adam, as the book says, don't mean that it erased what he said in the beginning, which it was in him, and then he spoke it. So the creation cannot outride the mind of the creator, nor the word of the creator. Again, it has to line up. It has to line up. All that, because you think the first two verses in Genesis, even though they had not sinned, we knew that in that garden was placed the knowledge of good and evil. I'm going to explain to you what he taught me when I was a young girl. I said to the Father, and I'll never forget this, I was a young teenager, why is it you placed that there in the Garden of Eden? As if you were placing something there because you knew. He said, I am my word. Everything rumbles according to my will. Everything that is, Deborah, was. Everything that shall be has already been. Where has it been? Before the foundation in the world. Before the foundation of the world. Why? Because it was already in him. It was already there, y'all. So, this is where Solomon was wanting to know all the things that was under the sun, and he realized, wait a minute, it's vain and vast to know it all. Because when it all said, finished, what's in the heavens going to outride what's on the earth. And to know all of this, what good is it? Going back to you. Stand down and be set free. Be set free from these people telling you to dress right. Dress is for the flesh. You are to eat right. Eat is for the flesh. You're to speak a certain way. You're to learn your Hebrew. You're to learn the Torah. You're to do all this in here. But they fail to realize who was the one that owns the beginning to the end. He wants you to know that they have taken the commandments and the law and labored it as they please, as an iron claw. He said, well, now, from now on, when you hear those things that proceed out of his mouth, take it as instructions and directions and leave it as simple as it is. He said, no man nor woman, no male nor female can uphold the law that is in me. Okay? He said, when I said, when you accept Yeshua, which is the blood sacrifice, Hamashiach is my power. And the Hamashiach will usher my spirit in thee. We are the law. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! How can they tell you how to in your flesh uphold that which is in the spirit, that is the greater than in all the world, owns the law, owns the commandments. This is what man calls it, commandments and law. And he said they use it. That's what he told me that when I first got on YouTube. He was telling me they was using my instructions and my direction, Deborah, like an iron claw. And it ain't that serious, y'all. It's simple. But guess what's even simpler? Is knowing that the Ruach HaKodesh is the law and the commandments. Where did the law and commandments come from? Ahaya. So if he come in and abiding in you, then what is it you're going to be so strong and might to hold? See, once that power comes in you, it's going to hold up what man called the law and the commandments. And y'all say, I'm going to uphold the instructions and directions in you. What is it that we need more than his spirit to help us do anything? This flesh is nasty. It stinks. It knows where it's going already, to the earth, to the ground. And all the cankerworm, everything, every kind of insect's gonna eat up your heart, your brain, your everything. You see what that's worth? What is that worth? To think that your flesh can uphold that which is spirit and truth. Your flesh cannot uphold Yah's instructions and directions. From where? Where did the instructions and direction come from? Heaven. They never able to uphold it. They never were able to uphold it. And the ignorant men today don't even understand. Every time he had to deal with every last one of the men, he had to take them under and take them over. What you mean? He either knocked their butts out to tell them something, or he brought them to a different realm of life, which is visions and dreams. He had to, because they wouldn't be able to even handle it in their flesh. You see where flesh is at? So what makes you think any of them could hold any commandments, any law, any instructions, any direction? It's because he was always upon them to lead and guide them. He was upon them. But he wanted me to let you know he's greater now in you. He's not upon you. He's not around you. He's living in you. Now, who said that you should hold anything? I am the law. I am the commandments. Stand down off my elects and let them worship and serve me in spirit and in truth. So while a lot of these people are still running around and these babies coming up, keep the commandments and keep the law. Let me tell you something. The reason why a lot of them hang firm to Torah, keep the law, keep the commandments, do this law, because it's a battle of control. Y'all said, I come to set you free. Set you free. How can you be set free? If you're chasing ways, thinking that your flesh can uphold. You think your flesh cares really about instructions and directions when it knows only place it's going is to the earth? But greater is he that is in you. Where the commandments, as the men and women call it, and laws come from. Where they were created, where they rest therein. When that come live in you, you got it all. You got it all. It's going to uphold in you any and everything in spirit and in truth. So y'all, if you want to keep chasing, because they're going to chase you all over the world. I see men, Maureen, and prophets are coming out, still chasing. Oh, we got to find out about this. We got to find. When you finish, what do you do about spirit and truth in the light? What do you do when you see all this midnight darkness out here and you run around here trying to prove somebody who you are, who the people are, or who's over here and who's over here and where this come from and where this come from? It is finished. What part of that you don't get? It's over. So all your chasing is in vain. Come on here, Solomon, tell them. It's vain and vexed. You ain't chasing nothing but your emotions and your feelings. Your mood swing. Your boasting. Your pride-minded. Self-centered. Self-motivated. Because it ain't got nothing to do with the most high, a higher, what you chasing. Because it's all vain and vast. And even Solomon knew when to stand down. Praise the mighty God. Solomon began to stand down and start to see it in the spiritual realm. He began to say, wait a minute, this is vain and vast. Having this is vain and vast. Doing this is vain and vast. Knowing all this is vain and vast. What's the sickness among a people, the tribe of Judah, that cannot see, nor hear, or behold, that is finished, And that in Deuteronomy 28 and many other verses of the prophets, then told you he's going to destroy you and kill you. Why? Because even throughout the 400 years, you did worse than you did when he gave you on the promised land. It didn't change. He said you worse than your forefather. That means you never gotten better. So that's why he decided to only have a small remnant. Only a small remnant. And that remnant he's coming for. And there's going to be some sprinkling, cleaning, new heart, new spirit, new name. He's going to put his name in you and you're going to walk upright. There's a lot of things that's going to change. A lot of things going to change. So know that the journey, and it's not over. When he's telling you to come out of Babylon, he said it nice and smooth because he know you're not coming. You're not coming. Not these Negroes on this devil platform who call themselves Hebrew Israelite teachers. That's why no one never really put all the pieces together. These people can't come on one accord for nothing. These people are out here killing each other, stealing from each other, drugging each other. I mean, off the chain. But something got to be fulfilled. They got to hate us from what they're going to see. What they're going to see is a different kind of hate that they got to have. And it's already short. But this is what's scary to me. I sat back and I said, for Father, you said we shall be hated. All nations should hate us. But I said, but Father, look at what we're doing. Look at what he said, yeah, Deborah. I didn't say that you wasn't going to be doing something to get them to hate you. It's going to be a point. Now, why did y'all back that all the way to the end? It's because you thinking you getting ready to get up and go somewhere? Or you thinking you the righteous one? You the light now? No. Because even then he told you he's going to do some things when he take you up out. When Babylon is going down, when he take you up out of here, that's when he going to do something. But he said to me and to many of you out there, they ain't going to ever get it right. They ain't going to ever do right. They ain't going to ever. They destroy from this end. This is why all this is going on. So the hate is going to be hated because it's going to be those that also elect of the Most High Yah going to be hated because we are all the tribe of Judah. So we're going to be hated. You see? And those that doing the things that they're doing, they're setting it up for us to be hated. That's why you see all that crime. That's why you see the Negro men hating on the women now. Y'all, they ain't paid no attention. You ain't seen the Hebrew men killing each other, one another. They killing each other like flies. And what else they doing? They killing their wives and they killing their children, their daughters, and their fathers and their mother. Yeah, women are killing too, but not at the capacity of the way the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah have gone homosexual up and down big time. And they can't even see it. They can't see no wicked and evil within themselves because they're gone. They're gone here. Many of them on drugs. Many of them on different alcohol. Even those who trying to say they worship the Most High Yah. They be in the sanctuary drinking, overloaded, saying all kind of abomination words in the sanctuary. They don't have no integrity. They don't have no morals, no respect, no honor. They profane Yah's name day and night. They're just a sad, sick people. There's a reason why you're going to be hated. Now, you already hated. They got a perpetual hate for you. But the hate that they said in the end, you shall be hated of all the nation, that's because you all thinking that your people all this and all that. No. I thank the Most High for setting it up from the floor up. When did he set it up from the floor up? Before this book came out, he set that thing up real good. And then he left what? Mercy and grace. But he set that thing up real pretty. We walking that thing out. What we walking out, Deborah? What was in the heavens? That was in his will? That's in him? You see how sick it is? And we run around here thinking it's about what we still searching for. Your history. What is it you to know anything about yourself? What is it that you know what Enoch said? What is it that you know that Israel or Jasper or whatever, all these other books? What is it for you to know? Can it bring you to the altar of the Most High Yah, to his holy throne? Can it? And how will you get there? Can any of them tell you, go to Yeshua HaMashiach, he'll show you this. They can't tell you that. Not one book that they found. Only thing that them books can tell you is what you pretty much already read. But there's something greater and bigger than what you read. And that is the word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. And that's what Yeshua HaMashiach was saying on top of the mountain. The reason why he had to fast and be ministered to and pray for 40 days, the reason why he had to do that before he was led is because he was going up there in the flesh for you and for I. He was walking us up and down, teaching us how we going to go through stuff. And we missed it. And the Negroes missing it today. He done told us we're going to do greater works, and we still can't find it. Still running around here, don't care about the works. Could care less what he said. Could care less how he walked. Could care less how he talked. Could care less anything he have said. Now they finna deny the whole, what they call the Old Testament. Paul writing. See, the thing about it is this. Don't deny this book. Okay? Don't go in here as if you was assigned by the Most Higher to dissect it to the point where you eliminating this book and it's okay with you in your spirit. If you're able to go in here and do that, it's because you're working with the sinner, Satan himself, and don't know that was predestined. See, y'all ain't gonna come down here and get you on the right track. He ain't gonna come down here and get Sister Deborah on the right track. That's why he told me, look, I know you see what you see. I've told you time after time, you see good. But now endure. I've given you the spirit to endure. Now endure. What do you think he's talking about? What do you think he's talking about? Endure the fact that I've taught you before the foundation of the world. That which was, that which is, and that which shall come. Now you sit, walk therein, and endure it with the spirit of endurance that I've given you. Because you can't say nothing, you can't teach nothing, you can't add to it, you can't take away. You just respect, salute my will, and know that it is right in him. So if it's right in him, it's right in me. So everything that you see was predestined and ordained. He's so many words he told us. Everything that was predestined and ordained. And what did we do? We kicked it to the curb. Kicked it all the way to the curb. We don't want to know nothing about that. We ain't got no part in that. We don't want that. We don't want to hear that. Why? Because we think this thing is about us being in control, ruling, king, leader. We all let in something. We want to put him under our feet and then lead the people while he's under our feet. Baby, let me tell you something. He don't even stoop that low where your feet is at. Only one go there is the devil. And not only is he under your feet, he has ordered your steps. Because you ain't walking in nothing, spirit and truth, nor are you walking in the light of righteousness, nor are you even walking in the direction of the narrow gate. You all up in the broad gate saying, can I get in? Okay, now, there are 3 verses here. And I'm going to start with Isaiah. Isaiah 40 and 21. Isaiah 40 and 21 said, Isaiah 40 and 21 says, have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Have it not been to you from the beginning? Ye have not understood from the foundation of the earth. You have not understood from the foundation of the earth. When is that? The beginning? Isaiah 40 and 21. Have you not? No. He, have you not? No, he, yea, not heard? Have it not been to you from the beginning? When was the beginning? The book of Genesis. That's the beginning. Okay. Have ye not understood from the foundation of the world, of the earth? That means when the beginning. You mean you ain't understood? That's in Isaiah 40 and 21. You know why? You still don't know. Sister Deborah done told y'all. You don't even understand Genesis 1. So how are you trying to tame somebody in the whole Torah? How are you trying to tame somebody in Hebrew language, in Greek language? How are you trying to tame somebody in all these lost books? How are you trying to teach anybody anything and you don't even know the beginning? That was, that is, before Genesis 1 and 1. And here he said, have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Have it not been to you from the beginning? The beginning is the beginning. The beginning is of Genesis. Have ye not understood? You're right. You haven't. And that's what Sister Deborah been saying for quite some months now. You all don't even understand who that is. You all don't even know how it led us. You didn't even know Christ was the power of the Father right hand that came down with Yeshua. You don't know nothing. But you want to tell somebody about how they could be in control and be living up under Torah. Torah your butt somewhere and sit down. And stand down. And let these people walk out free. And stop trying to get them under some tradition that you were brought up in, that you came up in, that you lived in, you walked in, and you talked in, and you love the idea that you learned how to do it because the one that taught you how to do it. Now you want to get everybody up under you. Set them free so they may be free. We are in the midnight hour. If you are caught in captivity and you are bound in your mind, your heart, in the way you think, the way you feel, be set free. Because the Ahia said, you are free indeed. Now, Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15 through 17. Colossians chapter 1, verse 15 through 17. Who is the image of the invisible Yah? Invisible. So, when did Yah become a Hebrew? You see the ignorance? Invisible. He is a spirit. The firstborn of every creature. The firstborn of every creature. That's Christ. He was the first one born to take on a mission. And he came down in Yeshua with all word, all power. Verse 16, for by him were all things created. You hear that, child? By him was all things created. You know the ignorant Hebrew Israelite think that was Yeshua created. They think he's talking about Yeshua. They don't understand there's a son of man and there's a son of Yah. That was the son of Yah. Okay? When he was saying, let, bam, for by him were all things created. That was Yah's power that came down to help out Yeshua. The first time Yah had ever done something like that. So he made his power, his spirit, and his word. And it is called the Son of Yah. Came down with the Son of Man to complete the one will of the Father's mission. And that's all Yeshua was trying to do, is to tell us how to get to the Father, how to love on him, how to understand him, how to walk in him, how to talk in him, how to act. Oh, we can mimic that. We won't even right now go to the Bible and see and study his ways. We want to go over here where they can have more women and more wives. You got fools out here talking about a virgin. What is a virgin? What is a virgin? A virgin is a female that's yet don't know a lot of things. A lot of things. And the only reason why you breed in it is because it brings pleasure to your flesh. It has nothing for your spirit. It has nothing for your intelligence. It has nothing for your mind. It only has something for your lust. So you breed on, and breed on, because y'all see it all. And he said it is finished. And he's about to deal with all that crap. Okay? Now, in Colossians chapter 1, verse 15. Now we on let's say it all over again. Verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible Yah? Who is the image of the invisible Yah? The firstborn of every creature. The firstborn of every creature. Who is the firstborn of every creature? Who is it? Now one of you know. Now one of you know. Verse 16, for by him were all things created. The firstborn of every creature was the Father, beloved Son, that he created just to step in the flesh of man, which is the Son of Yah. And the Son of Yah is the power of Yah's right hand. And that's what 16 is telling you. For by him were all things created that are in the heavens and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities. Now, you know Yeshua, the Son of Man, born of a flesh, couldn't create the principalities. Come on now. Who is he talking about? He talking about him. His right hand, which is Christ, which is Hamashiach. The first creature, creator that the first one that was created to come down in the flesh of a man. With all power, all word, and all and y'all spirit. And that's why he said, let me tell y'all, I have to go. The Son of Man said, because all that's in me, y'all needs it back. You want to send it in you. That's how sweet it was. And then as you see, Colossians chapter 1, verse 16 said, or powers, all things that were created by him and for him. Did y'all see? Y'all missed that, didn't you? This is why I was saying, where you know people don't know spirit and truth. Let's go there again. Colossians chapter 1, verse 15. 15 said, who is the image of the invisible Yah? Who is that image? The firstborn of every creature. And where was he born? And where was he firstborn? In Yah, in the heavens. That was his plan. It was created in the heavens. It was his plan. What was his plan? Is to send all of himself down into Yeshua to walk on the earth. Now listen to this. And this is what he's telling you about the firstborn. For by him were all things created. Now we know ain't nothing was created by Yeshua, born of a woman. It was Christ, the Hamashiach, the Father himself, power. It was Yah's power, which is Christ. So when you see let us was Christ. It's Yah's power. It was the firstborn. Okay? It's his power, Yah. For by him were all things created that are in the heavens and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. Who is that? See, y'all got his power. Oh, it's awesome. And that's why you can't tell nobody about no Torah. And you don't even know who that is in Genesis. You don't even know who us is. Y'all still, these men still in the Hebrew, still trying to chase. Well, who is that? Oh, that's the angels. Oh, who is this? They still don't know. That was Christ. That was the Hamashiach. And that's who they talking about in Colossians. Created everything. My Father's right hand. And in verse 17 in Colossians chapter 1, verse 17, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. That's Yah. His right hand is his power. Okay? That created everything. And we missed it. Y'all been missed it. Long time ago. And here it is in the midnight hour, and they still don't have no oil in their lamp. Still don't have no, but carrying, walking around with the lamp. And got this thing trimmed too. But no oil. And ain't gonna get none. We in the midnight hour, y'all. He's coming. In Hebrew chapter 10, 1. Hebrew chapter 1. Hebrew chapter 1. Okay. Verse 10. And thy Lord in the beginning has laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are thy works. You hear that works again? You hear that works? You remember Yeshua said, and thou shalt do greater works. Why? Because when I'm gone, God's going to send that power down in you, and you're going to do greater works. So here it is here in Hebrew chapter 1 and verse 10. And thy Lord in the beginning has laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thy hand. See that? And the heavens is the work of thy what? Hand. That's Christ, which the world called Christ, but it's Hamashiach. It is Yah's right hand that was the firstborn to come down in the flesh of a man and show up and show out. It existed from the beginning. It was let that Yah spoke. He said, let. He was speaking to his own right hand to bring forth whatever he spoke. So all this old crap that y'all been taught, sad. And it says you, the works of thy hand. It was his hand all the time in Genesis 1. But guess what? We sitting here monkeying around with these men talking about Adam was first. Women don't have a spirit. They don't have an image. Use a fool, use a fool, use a fool, and you're going to stay a fool. Wow, you in the midnight hour. Because we are in the midnight hour. What you don't know, you should know by now. The hour is set. Isaiah. Oh, we already did Isaiah. Okay, so those were things that had taken in the beginning. There's a difference from the beginning or the foundation of the world and the beginning versus the other one, which is before the foundation of the world and predestined and ordained before you were in the womb. Okay. Foreknew mean he knew you before heaven and earth was created. And before the foundation of the world, I ordained you. See, y'all don't understand that it's more to it than what you've been taught by man. But because you have chosen to be taught by the mouth of a man, y'all don't have no problems with it. That's where you at today. And that's where you're going to be. I say to you again, stand down and be set free. Do not let these people, oh, I don't know how this, do not let these people continue to teach you. Don't let them teach you no more. Turn to the Ruach HaKodesh. Let him do what he promised he would do. And that was to teach you all things. He never told you to put your trust in man because he knew man couldn't even trust his own self, let alone you trust in him. Think now, if we are our own worst enemy, why are others putting their trust in us and not in the Most High, a higher? We have profaned him, we have disrespected him, we have dishonored him. Why all on this devil platform? Yang, yang, and yang. I call it clown closing. Clowning. They're in the circus. They got the clown. And they got more younger men coming out by great numbers, as ignorant as they were. Lost without a cause. Y'all say it's finished, Deborah. And when he says finished, he means that it's finished. That means there's no turning back. There's no turning back and thinking that he's going to come chase after you all to get you to see something, to get things revealed to you, to get you to search your history, to get you to find out about this about you. And you got these prophets and these Maureen's and these watchmen running around here searching all this stuff. When you finish searching, what have you found? If you have not found spirit and truth. What have you found if you have not found the light? What have you found if you're not walking in righteous and just? 99.9 don't even know if they have the spirit of endurance, the spirit of fear. Do y'all know what the spirit of fear is? Once he has taught you what took place before the foundation of the world, and it's not about what these people on these devil platforms and these pastors in these churches and everybody talking about, guess what? Only will the Holy Spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, give you the spirit of fear when he has gotten you to where you understand who he is. It don't make no sense for nobody you to have the spirit of fear. That's why people realizing, well, people don't have no fear of y'all. No, you ain't gonna have it. It's a gift. Fear is a gift from the Most High God. And he ain't finna give you that gift if you caught up in thinking man is the gift to your whole life. Okay, let man give you your gift. Let man give it to you. And he is giving it to you. Because anything happen to this world, I don't care who get on this devil platform, they get on here and they figure they warning you, they telling you this and they telling you this, oh, this going to happen. When they finish, all they giving you is their fear. That's it. Their emotions, their personal opinion, their feelings, their fleshly wisdom, their fleshly knowledge, and their fleshly understanding. That's all they have to give you. And they give you only what they have. And again, like I said, a lot of you all you're too ignorant to really even digest the fact that the reason why you're going to be hated, there's going to be those that's going to be hated for the Most High Yah's sake, because we, as a people, what we're doing on the earth today, and because you all think it's they bothering us. Wait a minute. When you say that somebody's bothering you, or they doing this and they doing that, you actually, I'm going to tell you what he said to me this evening regarding that. He said, Deborah, it's shown me that all that I've said to them, way back in Deuteronomy, all the way through Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel, all the way up until today, they missed it all. All of it. Past the 400 years and they still miss it. Because they thinking the thing is about what they said it is. Not turning to the people to search deeper. Instead, in searching for a spirit and truth, they got their tails out there. The prophets, the males, searching for the history. Talking about, I got receipts. You got receipts to what? And where would them receipts take you? And none of it ain't going to take you to spirit and truth. It ain't going to take you to righteousness. It's not going to take you to justice. And it's not going to take you through the light. So where are you going? In such a midnight hour. We are in such a dark time that everything's going to take place. Like he said back in the days of Noah, things going to take place and it's going to And before they know it, they're going to be gone. They waiting for this to happen, this to happen. Or he coming to get us. Baby, you better overthink what you've been thinking. Because I'm telling you, the Father said it's finished. Revelation is walking itself up and down. It's fully being fulfilled. While you sitting around here talking about searching for other information. You already got these people lost without a cause in all these other books. They cannot find deliverance in these books. They can't find righteous in these books. When I say righteous, righteous is Yah. That's the narrow gate. They can't find that. They got to find that narrow gate. You think they're going to find it up in them books? No. Because the narrow gate, it is holy. The narrow gate is spirit and truth. And that's why very few are going to find their end. Of those who's actually serving and worshiping and honoring and giving all glory to the Most High God for who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. And if you don't know who he was, who he is, and who he's going to be, you still lost out there in the deep blue sea. And still not going to see dry land. So Sister Deborah, let me see what else was there. Okay, we did cover let. Let is Christ, okay, which is the King James Version, 400 years, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You remember when Moses told him to blot him out of that book? Even Moses knew. And listen to this. Enough to know that that book was past tense, written. So he's telling the Most High Yah to blot him out of what he feels Yah had him in. You see how sick that sounds? That was Moses. Blot me out, because he won't let them people do what they want to do and how they want to do it. So just blot me out. So what? You go over in Matthew chapter 1, bro, you blot it out. Now what? Because you're not one of the seeds that's listed from the heavens. You're not included. Moses. You see how sick? When I saw that, I thought, Father, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that he had gotten to that point. Let me see where I can pull that up. I have it because I thought that was so sad. I really did. Y'all probably said, well, why do you think that's sad, Deborah? I did. I just think that's so sad for him to go there with my father. It's sad for him to be walking and talking with him in a way that was so holy. And then turn around and say to my father, blot me out the book. Wait a minute, what book you talking about? He knew something. Moses already knew that there was something that took place before Genesis, before this word that you think is the word of Yah. Before this, he was, is, and shall be the word. With this or without. You get it? So what do you got these people walking all up in? Set yourself free, people. Free from all of this nonsense. Stand down from all this mess. And yes, I did. I thought that was really sad when in Exodus when Moses said that to him. I thought that was, matter of fact, I thought it was very disrespectful. Let's go to Exodus 32. I thought it was very disrespectful. Exodus chapter 32, and I'm going to end here. Exodus, I'm just trying to show you that we don't rumble like that. Don't rumble with my father like that. He don't deserve that. And we set our dumb tails from the beginning of this book to the end. And ain't kept nothing he said keep. Ain't walked upright, got more hate for one another, envy for one another, jealousy for one another, murderous heart for one another. Every sin on the face of the earth, Hebrews, I'm going to say the tribe of Judah has. But then want to try to tell somebody how to hold Torah and all that hate in your heart. You think y'all don't know nothing about what's going on in your heart. Please, please. You can't control what took place before the foundation of the world. Because while you own this thing that's in this book, guess what? He was. Everything that you're trying to chase, he was. Exodus 32. I just want y'all to just to hear this. And I thought this was really sad. And I think that he shouldn't, his butt shouldn't have went over to the promised land, because I think to say this here after all y'all have done with him and through him, showing him and bringing him, to the places that he wanted him to be. I think this is it. 32, Exodus 32 and verse 31. Come go with me here. Exodus 32, verse 31 and 32. Exodus 32, verse 31 and 32. Now, this is where I want you to understand where the minds of the men are today. And this was a man that Yah used to do things according to his will. Yah has two wills. He has a righteous and unrighteous. He have assigned each and every last one of us under one or the other. So what? That's why you can't rumble. You don't control nothing like you think. Because when you finish controlling and ruling and having a choice, guess what? Your choice going to still be where he going to send you, heaven or hell. Tell me what your choice going to do about that. Your choice ain't going to have nothing to do, nothing to say. But just depart from me, your worker of iniquity. I knew you never. Listen to this. Exodus chapter 32 and verse 31. And Moses returned unto Ahiah and said, "Oh, this people." Now listen to what Moses is saying. And this is what I say right here today. That's wrong with the minds of the men of the tribe of Judah. And the women too. But more so the men. And a lot of things I think is really sad. A lot of you all, especially you women, have not seen the wickedness of the tribe of Judah. Men. Now, women doing it too. But you have not seen at what capacity and percentage our men backs are against Yah and serving Satan. Big time. Big time. Our men are, listen to this, y'all. If they had to do a percentage, I would say in between 60 to 75% of our men are practicing homosexual, even if it's their desire. And it has not took place. He said, that which you think it, you have already. You see, because a lot of them fantasize. You see, so while y'all thinking y'all don't know nothing about all this, oh yes, he does. He knows all about that. But guess when he knew it? Before this book even came out, he knew. That's why you can't whoop nothing on him. That's why a lot of y'all trying to make him like a man. He ain't no man. So stop that old mess about the image. You don't know what the image is. And that's saying, teaching a multitude of people and don't know what the image of the Most High Yah is. That's a sad, sad situation. Oh, that's so sad. I think that's really sad. Okay. Exodus chapter 32, verse 31. And Moses returned unto the Ahiah, and said, "Oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold." Verse 32. Yea, now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and listen to what he said. If thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of the book which thou hast written. Now, I don't know anything about if he said that or not. I don't hear what proceeded out of the mouth of Yah until verse 33. And Ahiah said unto Moses, "Whosoever thy sin against me, him will I blot out of my book. So, what made Moses think he was going to pay the price for them? You see how sick a man is? You see the sick mind? What makes you think they can, when you are blotted out, do you think that that's going to stop them from their wicked and sin? Women, you think if you tie your hair, if you walk the way they say, if you talk the way they say, if you eat the way they eat, if you do everything, do you really believe that it's righteous? It's upright? Look at Moses. He's sitting here telling the Ahia to blot him out of the book. Who said you was in it? You see the strong-minded of this wickedness is speaking. His wickedness is speaking. I pray thee out of the book which thou hast written. Who said you was in it? See how this is why I said to you all, you don't know. No. Now listen to this. I hear it says, Ahiah said unto Moses, whosoever have sinned against me, will I blot out of my book. So what are you talking about? Therefore now go, lead the people into a place of which I have spoken unto thee. Therefore go. Now, do that make any sense, y'all? And that's what these men of the tribe of Judah do today. They embed in wrongdoing, wrong speaking, wrong acting with one another, and they justify that it to be righteous and okay. And now the young men that's coming up feeding after their wickedness. And it reminds me so much of Satan in the heavens when he manipulated all those angels to follow him easily. That's how the tribe of Judah has done to their sons and to the men. They don't care if the men, you got these ones sitting here talking about a virgin. What can a virgin do for you? Outside of give you pleasure. And that ain't going to be no pleasure. It's going to be a mind, still sick mind. Because you know what? Honestly, if you know what you're doing, you don't need a virgin to know what you're doing. You see? The way God has gifted our bodies. You can go to the sun, whether it's a virgin or not. So it just shows you the mind and sick-minded that they have. And they don't even understand. I wouldn't dare in this day and time want somebody who can't do nothing. But please, not please, and that don't really bring pleasure. Give me what make me sick in my mind think. Men leaving their wives and their children don't even understand. That's your bloodline. That's your life. Because what's happening now, they'll never be able to see that wife, nor all those children that they left because of one man told them to give up their family. But you ain't gonna see him do his. But he gonna tell you to give up your family. You see though. See, this is why I was saying, y'all said that they have had great dealings to do with the great falling away. I think that's so sad. It's sad, but y'all said, Deborah, just hold firm to the gift of endurance. And all will be well. And I believe it will. Without a doubt. I believe what proceed out of his mouth. But see here in Moses, if you don't think that this is sick, what Moses just said, something wrong with you. Like it is something wrong with him. Even when he told them to give their wives a written decree. And it was because of their hearts. He was okay and because he knew their hearts were so wicked and evil. They wanted to do what they want to do. Even if he told them not to, they was going to do it. But that just shows you the minds of the males. And a lot of I'm going to tell y'all something, women, that you never gave it a thought. There is, like I say, I give or take 60, maybe 70% of our men has stepped into the homosexual lifestyle, 100. And also, you got a great number that has stepped into the pleasure of the whole ideal and has entertained it. I want you to really take a grip of that. Understand that. And I'm going to say it in a way that's spirit and truth. This is males wanting to claim a female role. Think about it. Think about it. A female full role. And then they run and they say a woman, she wants to be controlled and she wants to be masculine and she wants to, rule. Wait a minute, hold up. What are these men doing? They taking 100 role of a woman and messing up the so-called straight men, showing them and turning them on. You see? So what is it a woman doing? Because she's trying to hold the household. She's trying to make sure things are together. And every time you fall, she go pick you up, get you back on track, and still try to uphold everything. You see how sick it is? People are gathering, trying to come together in unity, only enough to manipulate people to give them some money so they can build on what they're trying to establish. And I think that's the worst of the worst, dangerous line that there possibly is. Because when y'all come, what you trying to build up on, you are all up in Babylon. You're going to be waiting with Babylon in this land as it's destroyed. Another thing he was explaining to me that we don't understand, I believe it's going to be a time period where the thing is going to come. I think exactly that is going to come. I think the trigger is going to trigger it. And it's going to have some connection to the connection with the five, and I think they're gonna cut that thing on. I think it's going to be a sound to it. I think it's going to be something that's going to cause people to react in a zombie state of mind, to where people are going to be wanting to take lives and wanting to not live. The Bible speaks of it in Revelation. But what he was explaining to me, that how Babylon is going to come down is from within. Mm-hmm. Babylon going to come down from within, and the world is going to see and agree that they take it out, because something's going to be going on in this country that's going to make them feel okay to take this land out. So what I believe is that um, that stage of where they giving the people you know, I think all of that plays a role. And I was driving today and I was speaking in my spirit to the Father, and I was saying, it's just too many people for them to be in control of around about now. Seem like they still have to do away with people before they can get that type of power. And he said, what people are thinking in this country, they really looking for a one world system that's not coming for this country. It's just going to be started here, but it's just to start. But that's the intent, is to bring this country down, and that all the wealthy of the wealthy is fully 100% aware that what they got, what is planned, because of everything they're doing. They getting rid of our water, our food, our everything, and we stand around like fools. Talking about we searching our history. You see what I'm saying? Go sit down and seek the Most High Yah while He can be found. And they going around. So everything, they destroyed all of that, and then when they destroyed all of the things that people needs and live on, then that's when they're going to also start allowing them to destroy one another. So I believe this land is going to, the people here in this country is going to go after one another. And I mean, it ain't going to be like, okay, you this and you didn't know. Let me tell you something. That going to already take place, because I believe that has taken place even as I speak. Because I understand now why I'm hooping and hollering to the Father. Kept telling me, well, why the tribe of Judah doing this, and why the tribe of Judah doing it. And he told me that they're making it and setting the pace for what must come. The hate for the tribe of Judah. And not just the tribe of Judah, but That's what he was explaining to me when I was whining about the tribe of Judah. That's what he wanted me to understand. You're going to have to be hated in a different way. Now, they got to perpetuate hate for you, but there's a hate that's beyond that, that's going to come on the four corners because of what they're going to see in the media, on the news, on Facebook and YouTube, and like you see now, men are on YouTube and Facebook killing their mothers, their fathers, their children, their wives. I mean, like crazy, and y'all just walking around saying, "We the people." Men are running around here claiming a female entity and training and also causing other men, just like in the heavens when Lucifer had all those angels following him and they was all wanting to follow him. That's exactly how it is here on the earth in this country. The men are flocking to this homosexual lifestyle. And when they see these men now, everywhere you go, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah. But when you look at Isaiah, when you look at Isaiah 3, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. See, this is what these men will not cover. They're not going to tell you the truth of the matter of it all. It should be Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. They was telling us about all the stuff that's going on. And it's not looking to the maker. Not looking to the maker. Okay, and this is what they're doing. No, that's not Isaiah 3. Let me get that. Isaiah 3. Isaiah, yeah, here it is. Chapter 3. Now listen to this. The day of Yahuwah. Okay, but listen to this. Isaiah chapter 3. Let's go down to verse 9. Let's go verse 8. I want y'all to listen to this. And this is actually what's going on. And I know you all don't want no spirit and truth. Y'all want somebody to feed y'all a lie to make y'all think that everything is all good and the storm has ceased and everything is just light. No, baby. The judgment of the Most High is heavier than it has ever been. We are in the midnight hour of darkness. We got men having men by great numbers. Our men are turning inward to each other. And then these men that's out here want you to think for 1 minute that you're supposed to be a dog to them, that they can walk all over you and they don't even understand the hour and where we're at. We are in the midnight hour. And right now, they're breeding virgins. Those the silly women he was talking about. Lighter with sin. They're not lighter with anything else. It's when they follow stuff like that. But these are children. Back in the days, before Noah, Genesis 6, they were taking the daughters as they please. And that's what they're trying to do today. They bring in every type of sin, wicked, lust, sexual pleasure to the flesh forth as possible. Now listen to this. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8 and verse 9. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen. See? Y'all be thinking Sister Deborah just too hard on the men and just. When you read Isaiah 3, you'll see he talking all up in the man's face. And then you hear this one man, Geno Jennings. Oh, he said the women's going to be ruler. And look, all my people, they which led you. No. He said led. It says they which led you, meaning the men that led you caused you to error. And this is what brings the curse of a woman ruling over you. And you know what it is? I realized exactly what the Father was saying to me today. He was saying that everything that he said and meant, they have turned and flipped it the opposite way. The tribe of Judah. Marines, watchmen, prophets, evangelists, teachers, not evangelists, teachers. No, they can be evangelists. They have all flipped his word all kind of ways that people may not find any truth in it. And that's why they're calling it a lie now, because they have smeared it even after it already been smeared. And the only one going to get this to the people is the Ruach HaKodesh. Don't trust man to give you no word of the Most High God. Don't trust man to give you no word. We're in the dark hours. Just like the 10 virgins, they told them they weren't going to give them their oil. Yah is telling you to tell these men, I'm not giving you no more of my time. Stand down. Be free. Set yourself free. Okay. Now listen to this here. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Ahiah, to provoke his eyes of his glory. They doing this evil and wicked, y'all. These men actually are doing it purposely to provoke the eye of Yah, his glory. They're doing it intentionally. Now watch this here. Verse 9. The show of their countenance, meaning they doing it and flaunting. Do it, witness against them. Mean, Deborah, they not doing it to where it's under the couch or in the closet. They doing it all out in the opening, Deborah. I said, Father, I'm with you. I'm all the way with you there. I see it myself. I'm not a dead prophet, y'all. I'm a living one. I see it. Okay? Now listen to what 9 says. This is Isaiah 3 and 9. The show of their conscience, do it witness against them. And they declare their sin like Sodom. They had it not. Did not I just tell y'all that? Why these women running around here trying to support these men, and half of these women don't even understand these men is all up in the closet of these homosexual men, and even desiring it. It's in the open. If y'all can see it, and then he gets it to his prophet to see it, what makes you think that? No, because you're too naive in such a late midnight hour. That's why they talking so much hate, nasty things about women. And you don't even understand why. That's why women shouldn't be out here fighting and fussing and hurting one another and cursing and beating up on one another. Let these men stay out there, because they don't understand. They're not the majority of the remnant that is small that Yah is taking. That's in Isaiah 2, verse 25. Isaiah 3, verse 25. See what happened to the men. Okay, now verse 9, it said, Isaiah 3 and verse 9, the show of their conscience doesn't witness against them. They don't have no shame. These men here calling women bitches and hoes on this, on in the church, on the pulpit, on the platforms. I know it's the devil platform, so that's about right. They're calling women everything. Now listen to this. They ain't no shame in them. Ain't no fear of Yah in them. Because he didn't give them the gift of fear, the spirit of fear. Now it says, they declared their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. He talking about homosexual. Woe unto them, their soul, which woe unto their spirit, for they have reward evil unto themselves. Verse 10, saying ye to the righteous, that is, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing. Okay? Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the rewards of his hands shall be given him. Y'all ain't playing with you. Then all you had to do is go to Isaiah 25. He show up and show out. He show up and show out. Okay? And then this is when you go up in 12, Isaiah 3 and 12, he said, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. When he said my people, he's talking about the men. You see, he's telling them, listen to it, as for my people, children rule over them. Children are their oppressor. Women are over them. You see, he's letting you know. He's telling these men. Then he said, oh, my people, they which led you to error and destroy the way of the path. He said, I gave that the way to these men all this time. And they have destroyed one another and the path itself. And they run around who want to teach you something and tell you what's what. Okay, let them keep on. They can keep on. It's finished. That's all Sister Deborah can say. It is finished. It's over. That means he ain't coming to deliver you. So stand down off all this nonsense on these devil platform and this teaching. Be set free. Because it doesn't matter what these people are saying. If you can look into who they are, you'll realize that, wait a minute, you mean I've been following this person, liking and subscribing to me, they've been doing this sort of sin and wicked and evil. This is type of hate they are. I, Sister Deborah, say to you, it is finished. Stand down and be set free. Shalom and shalom.